creature witch, and a whole lot more. You'll probably learn that you like to practice a mixture of witchcraft too. It's actually kind of rare for a witch to only ever practice one kind of magic. As for how I became a witch, well, I've always been a bit different. Maybe you can relate. I never wanted to go down the path that I saw my friends and family taking. I've never been very good at holding down a typical 9-to-5 job. After getting a marketing degree in college, I decided to work seasonal jobs and get my 200-hour yoga teacher training certification. Yoga was one of the first things that got me thinking about spirituality. I'd been raised Catholic, but that didn't really resonate with me anymore. I loved the meditation, breath work, and the ideology that came along with the physical practice of yoga. Between the seasonal jobs and the yoga teaching jobs, I was able to travel all over the world. As you can imagine, I met a lot of people who were into New Age practices, crystals, essential oils, incense, all that good stuff. Shortly after that, I was introduced to tarot cards. I met a woman in Alaska, Abby, who had a deck, and we had fun drawing cards and Googling the meanings to piece together tarot readings for each other. Though I was learning a lot and having amazing experiences, I still felt like I wasn't living up to my highest potential. I was basically broke and had been that way my entire adult life. I always seemed to have just barely enough money to make ends meet, never a penny more. I really felt the pressure to change when I was 29 years old, closing in on my 30th birthday. I looked at my life and realized there were so many things that I haven't been able to achieve yet, even though I'd tried really hard. I wanted a relationship with a man I loved. I wanted money. I wanted stability. I wanted to be an expert in something. I wanted a freaking car. At that point in my life, I had exactly 0 of those things. I'd spent my 20s floating from job to job and relationship to relationship, staying in apartments with short-term leases or Airbnbs, and I was over it. I wanted my life to change, and I wanted it to change in a big way. First, I dove into personal development. I read over 100 books that talked about how to build businesses, how to market, and how to train your mind to think like a successful person. During that time, I read a lot of Brian Tracy, Michael Gerber, and Charles Duhigg. Those books inspired me to take control of my life, and I started doing freelance graphic design and writing fiction. My life started to improve slightly. I was still broke, but I was excited by life again. After I blew through the business books, I turned to the woo-woo books. I read books by authors like Gabby Bernstein, Daniel Laporte, Jess Lively, and Abraham Hicks. If you haven't read any Abraham Hicks, I strongly suggest you check it out. Abraham Hicks is a group of non-physical beings who speak through this woman named Esther Hicks. They say some really witchy, wonderful, life-changing stuff. It seriously freaked me out at first because it reminded me of The Exorcist or something. Non-physical beings and whatnot. But after I got over the initial shock, I absolutely loved it. They teach law of attraction, and they were teaching it long before The Secret came out. If you want to check out the resources listed in this book, you can find it all at www.whitewitchacademy.com/resources. Learning about the law of attraction was a total game changer for me. I'd sort of believed witchcraft was evil until that moment. That's when I connected the dots. Witchcraft wasn't powered by the devil, and actually most witches don't even believe in the devil. It's powered by the universe. Modern witchcraft is actually built on the foundation of the law of attraction, the principle of like attracts like. It's the reason sympathetic magic works. Law of attraction and sympathetic magic aren't discussed in this book, but they'll be covered in depth in the second book of this series, How to Become a Witch. I began using the manifesting principles according to the law of attraction in my own life, and amazing things started happening really fast. Soon, I started combining law of attraction with magical practices like candle magic, smoke cleansing.